Okay. Oh, they're here.
Here.
Trish, you have them here. Packet is here.
You don't need any of those.
That's for our public.
For our invisible public.
Okay, I'm gonna call the H&A October 22nd meeting to order. Roll call. Here.
Vice Chair Edamad. Commissioner Farren. Commissioner Feibush. Here. Commissioner Fong. Here. Commissioner Mojica.
Here.
Commissioner Noguez.
Here.
Thank you.
Any oral communications to report?
Seeing none.
Okay, well, I'll begin with the chair report. Well, let's start with the I guess the event that we had here earlier for the dance performance went very well. It was well attended. We had maybe, I don't know, 60 or so, approximately 60 people. And the live performance was wonderful, and the film and Q&A afterwards went really well too. So all in all, it was a success. And we're hoping that Catherine Rozak will come up with some other ideas for the future for us as well. My other report is, I guess, other items. I did communicate further with Bruce Monroe. He has everything he needs for the Zielinski Park site. He was pretty busy. He said he's planning his travel for 2025, but he said that he would get back to us hopefully by the next meeting with a more concrete proposal for a temporary installation at Zielinski Park along the fence. I guess that's about it for him. And then we have Revati Natasan's upcoming show opening on November 1st. I met with her this morning. We walked around the downstairs gallery, and we kind of plotted out where she would be hanging her work and how we would organize it. She's very excited, and it's quite a diverse group of items, including some pretty large scale works as well as some smaller pieces as well. I think, am I leaving anything out?
No,
No.
you are just.
Okay, let's begin with action items. The first action item is the revised Artist Laureate mission statement, which is here. Everyone has a copy of it, hard copy. And Jale worked on this, and it's seems to me pretty comprehensive. And this would be added to the materials for the Artist Laureate application and information. I guess.
Chair?
Yep.
I just want to say this is so clear and I like it a lot better than before. It's really good. My only other question, and you could correct me, I'm used to seeing past Tiburon Artist Laureate. Is prior the right word? I don't know if it makes any difference. Thanks, but I approve.
Would you like to?
I second that.
I do. First of all, I think that although it's implied that is the Tiburon Heritage and Arts Commission, I would insert its selection and search, first paragraph, second line, its selection and search are led by the Tiburon Heritage and Arts Commission. I'm not sure if you say who or that also provides support and promotion of projects throughout. And I wouldn't say the position's tenure because the position doesn't have tenure, it's the person. So I would say the artist's tenure. And then in terms of the directives, I don't think they're that clear. And I also think that meaningful contributions to art, what exactly does that mean? Do you want him or her to actually produce art that is meaningful to the community? Or it's not clear. So I would need to know what.
As to say art understanding to the community. That is what you're teaching, what art means, what brings to community.
I actually like that murkiness because I think art has a way of expressing, itself. And I like to leave that to the selection committee to determine and let the artist reflect what he or she feels is meaningful.
Good point. I think, Nora, I'll just clarify the first line of the mission statement, to bring understanding and appreciation for art to the community of Tiburon and Belvedere, is the overarching kind of umbrella directive.
Okay.
And then under that, meaningful contributions to art that the laureate also, as Victoria so eloquently stated, brings their own meaningful contributions.
But a directive is that you do something,
Yeah.
right? So.
So you're asking, are we asking them to contribute art?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a directive to the artist laureate during their tenure, what are you asking
Well,
him
it
or her
has
to
to be
do?
one way or the other.
I-
They have to be an artist to know that, how to bring it out to a community.
Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean. The second bullet point, encouragement of local artists. I would say, if this is what you mean, to promote and encourage participation by local artists. Isn't that really what you mean?
Yeah, I
Because
guess
that's
so.
clearer than encouragement of local artists.
But it's a more like a general encouragement in many ways to sort of maybe teach the others to maybe do more work. There are a lot of things that it's in encouragement.
Yeah,
Right, but
Not
bringing,
only showing their work.
yeah, like
But-
arranging visits to
Yes, to
the
museums.
art, to some important art,
museums.
in museums and discussing it together, or bringing workshops by asking, and I'm sure that a lot of artists would like to give that,
Maybe we can, kind of revise it to say meaningful contributions to discussions around H&A projects, something like that.
But fundamentally, I
no,
think
that
what you're,
doesn't mean any.
yeah,
that
no,
doesn't
but I mean, I
have-
think fundamentally what you want to do is you want to promote and encourage participation
So maybe
by
promote
local.
contributions to the
To the
Tiburon-
community,
Tiburon's cultural,
community.
artistic community or something.
Well,
Something like that, but I just think if it's a directive, you have to be telling them what you want them to do.
Maybe it says meaningful
vague.
contribution by doing the following.
You don't want to be that specific either.
No,
I think
yeah.
it has to be less specific, but not as general and vague. I see this as sort of vague and
So
ambiguous.
you want it specific or you want it?
No, I just want greater
Not general, not
clarity, greater clarity as to what you want
It's
them
clear.
to do.
Okay.
I know.
Okay,
Doing this.
I don't
thing.
want to argue, but create excitement, what does that mean?
Maybe
I-
making.
I really think it depends on the applicant. We're giving some really broad quote directives.
the-
Maybe that's the word that needs to be changed to a little bit more amorphous. But I understand it. I'm not an artist.
Yeah, I think it's more of not a, as maybe it's a directive, but it's also, an expectation of some sort as well, that they're generating excitement around, their role as the artist laureate.
I think we are talking about what an artist who wants to participate, and then in the interview, we will be asked, what do you mean by that? And then we have to explain things. As for me, as the past artist laureate, unfortunately, I do have a complete one-page letter that I am offering, that what I have in mind, what is my plan as artist laureate, and that is what it was given to Heritage and Arts, and of course to town council members as well. If
Eh.
you like, I can find that letter and email it to everyone
Sure, that would be helpful.
so that it would be kind of clear and helpful. It was up to me to say that what I'm going to bring to the community.
Maybe meaningful contributions to the art community or the artistic community.
That it has to be for the actual public.
Yeah, okay.
I had older ladies that they didn't even know how to draw a face or a line, but they were so happy to be in these they just loved it, because I ahead of time asked them what to bring and what we are going to do, and they came very willingly and happily and sat down there, and they made piece of art. I took their photos at the end, and they were very happy. They don't pay anything. It is for free. It's on a Saturday morning.
So maybe
So
meaningful,
this is part of it.
maybe meaningful artistic and educational contributions to the community.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it
that
has
is
to be free, it is a
already- yeah,
free.
already it says.
So you have
meaning-
workshops for local community.
Meaningful contribution to art such as all this following. I
It
think already
says
it's
it
a
there.
good.
Good,
sort
broad,
of- yeah,
broad
to
statement.
say what things they could do, and maybe more.
Now that we're having such
Maybe-
detailed discussion, I'm wondering we should just drop this visits to public art. I mean, you
That's
expect
vague.
a person.
It's just vague.
Yeah, it just say recommendation of public art would be more, I don't care if he or she visits
No, and
around the world.
I'm kind of looking at this, unfortunately, as a lawyer. So I think it's vague and ambiguous in some places, but also because this is a directive to the person coming in. So you need to create, you don't want to create expectations that can't be met on the one hand, but you also want to give them the leeway to be creative and do whatever it is that they want.
And to that extent, I agree with you, and I just would like to leave it as broad as possible. I know we
Right.
need to be a little more specific in some areas, but let this be organically evolved, because
Yeah, I
the
agree.
applicants are going to ask, what do you mean? Then we're
How
going to.
about we just move that line to up and say directives include meaningful contributions, including but not limited to, and then encouragement of local artists,
Fine.
generating excitement, workshops for local community. We can take out visits to public art,
Right.
recommendations of public art and locations, generating interest for upcoming artist laureate activities. So if we
I-
just move that line up, so directives
Yes.
include meaningful contributions.
I think that's a great way of, and I love this including, but, and
Very legal.
limited.
Very, very legalese.
Including but not limited to.
Yes, exactly.
But not limited.
From the
yeah.
other lawyer.
Yeah, we know that well.
Okay. Any other suggestions or comments on the statement?
Just my word prior. I don't know. It's just me.
Previous.
Like, you don't hear prior presence, you hear past presence. I don't know.
Okay,
Past could also mean that they're deceased.
No, 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 no.
well,
We're including but not limited to.
semantic, but maybe
Previous, they were an artist laureate.
Previous,
former, previous,
former or previous sounds good.
Or
previous it is.
Prior is good too, yeah.
Well, it's okay, then just.
Okay.
No big,
So
I've
I've
asked to Google.
SAI,
well, okay,
Oh, no.
let's just, close it out then. I've got the changes, so we're gonna add, town council appointed volunteer position with a 4-year term. Selection and search are led by the Tiburon Heritage and Arts Commission. That also provides support and promotion of projects throughout the artist's tenure.
yeah, which,
And then,
Have to select, and then it goes to
Yeah.
town council.
and then directives include meaningful contributions, including but not limited to. And then there's this list. We took out visits to public art.
Right.
Previous, not prior. Those are the changes.
Correct.
the only other thing is what about the stipend?
That's
It's
in the
report.
other material, supporting
Okay, thank you.
materials. Yeah, this is just sort of more of a kind of like, general mission and purpose expectation.
Yeah, we want to make them kind of want to do it. So we cannot
Mhm.
just do something that they would be scared to do it. It is something that they
Yeah.
have to do it full-heartedly because they want to bring art to
Yeah.
community.
I would move to accept this article of artist laureate statement with the agreed amount changes.
Second.
It's good,
Okay, great. We-
good. We
Take a
done
vote?
with the first one.
All in favor?
Aye.
I-
Any opposed? Seeing none, thank you.
So I can do these changes and put them
Yeah.
back.
Any phone calls or
Any public comment?
comments from public?
Seeing none.
Okay. Action item number 2. The Artists Laureate Wall Project, sticking with the
Yes.
subject of Artist Laureate. Let's see.
Okay, I have taken that on my shoulder. I would like to have an ad hoc for it when we are actually putting it up and talking about this. So I think Commissioner Fong has already said, yes, she will help. And maybe,
Do we have a third?
You're asking for help?
Ad hoc to-
ad hoc to be there to choose,
Maybe here.
to put
To
it,
help a
where
little,
to put
Liz?
it on the wall. I don't want to do it all by myself,
Organizing the plaques,
organizing everything.
text
So,
panels.
yes,
Oh, okay. What is the timing for the project?
Depends,
artist laureate,
depends on
wall.
when do you want to do?
there was something here.
It said going.
It has to have a
Onward.
title. It
Onward.
has to have a proper title that what this wall is all about.
Do we have works already from any of the previous
we are-
Artist Laureate that we
yes.
can hang? So we're almost, so we have a few and
We
that's,
have a few
that's to
and we're
get-
getting ready for, size-wise, I have asked for very small pieces. And it will be a permanent pieces, so
Mhm.
they really have to be in a frame. And we really need to have
and is there-
name and
is-
the duration of their,
their tenure.
yeah.
their term.
their-
And is there an agreement that we have for the artists who are donating or offering these pieces for?
I don't think, I talked to Mary Musolo and she's really very excited about it and she thinks that it's a fantastic idea. The thing is that we have this so that we encourage new artists.
Mm.
Especially nowadays, we're getting such professional artists showing here. They can see that we appreciate it. And this piece of work that the mission has got to be printed after we finish the wall and everything is hung with the names and everything. I'll take a photograph, and that photo could be on the top of this mission, and we make it a short mission and put it in one of those small plastic containers for the wall. We can put them there. So when artists come and see, they pick it up, take it home and think about it.
Great idea.
So it has to be a
I think
place of honor, you're honoring.
I
these
do.
people.
And I think one important aspect of that is that there has to be some kind of an agreement, which I'm sure the other attorney here would agree with me, that if somebody is donating a work of art to the town hall, it's their work. And so there has to be some kind of an agreement between,
Agreement or donation form
Yeah.
and
It's a
something that. we
Donation
might-
form, really.
Yeah, but we need to
Yeah.
also check with the town
and
and
we need to check with.
and
them.
the
Right.
Greg.
If I may, sorry, if I may, I think that's a great idea and staff will take care of crafting that agreement. It would be helpful to know, and maybe this is something we can work with the ad hoc on, is this a piece that's being donated or loaned? That will probably impact the terms of the agreement. So maybe that's something we'll talk to the ad hoc about, but in any event, staff will work on crafting an agreement for that.
Great. And to follow up on Liz's question, what's the timeline, or shall we just wait to hear from you?
Well, it depends how quickly we can do all the printing, and the first thing is making a decision and then have it printed and the way that we put it on the wall. Because the works will be ready before the end of the year. So,
Liz, would you
we
like to join
have
the ad
to-
hoc?
Yeah, I'll join.
oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Yes, that would be lovely.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, then I'll call two of you, we can get together.
okay.
So we are ad hoc, we can talk about this outside.
Do you want to make the motion for the ad hoc? Or do we need to move?
I don't know
form
how
the
to
ad hoc?
make a motion. Well, may I make the motion?
It's just as a matter of protocol,
Have
we
an
should ask for
ad
public
hoc?
comment before making a motion, so
Yeah.
I will just go ahead and take the liberty of noting for the record that there are no public
great.
comments on this item.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay, why don't you go ahead? Go ahead, John. Make the motion.
I'll make the motion of having an ad hoc to help each other to create this wall for the artists laureates of the prior ones and the future. Okay.
Do we have to state who's on the committee?
Liz. Victoria.
This is Commissioner Victoria Fong and Commissioner Liz
Liz Freibusch.
Freibusch.
Yes.
And Vice Chair Jolly Ed.
Oh, okay, and Vice Chair Etamad.
Do a vote?
That would be,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Seeing none, thank you.
Item is the Town Hall Art Gallery Management Manual, which is a very helpful piece that we have worked on over the past few weeks. You can see it's here. Everybody has a copy. This also includes everything from the requirements for banner art and the sort of the protocol from beginning to end. As you can see, it has planning and schedule, confirmation, contracts, publicity, exhibition, and opening reception. The one thing that I do not have here is the ARC's Diane Smith's email and phone number, which if supplied to me, I'm happy to put that in.
I can help you with that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So-
I'll give it to you. I have both.
As I think we've all looked at this at least a couple of times now, but does anybody have any comments or suggestions or revisions here? Are we missing anything?
I think,
You know,
we have
Sorry,
worked,
I just have a question. The one of the artists that is interested to show in February, March, she came apparently to the town hall and spoke with you. And because I said you would have to go and look at the contract and sign it. But then she was told that it's not necessary yet. Cecilia Strain.
I think I spoke with her. So she will need to sign the contract once her position or once her show is approved by the commission in
Oh,
her
that's
spot.
why.
And she really doesn't need to sign the contract until right
We-
before the show.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it, you
because
know, this-
Usually we say, we think that they should sign a contract so that they are committed, you know? So, because it's like if they decide not to do it just like 2 weeks before, it's very hard to get someone to show. That's why we usually, I think in the past, we would have them sign. That way they would be committed.
so we can have them sign the contract as soon as the commission approves their show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
but
think
that-
that's added
that
in
is a
here.
good
It
idea.
says, signed contract once you confirm with the artist, once we have been approved. So
Yes.
I do remember, I'm not sure Nora remembers, we worked on those policies very clear. And we could also add again, and this is sort of like a quick cliff note to what you have to do.
Right, because as you may recall, in the last meeting, we decided that for each artist that is showing at the town hall, there would be a designated commissioner who would be working with that
Liaison.
artist, a liaison, so to speak. And that's why this management guide is there to aid that commissioner also.
Thank you.
I think there is one document missing, and that is that there's a diagram of the layout.
Oh,
Yeah, there are
out.
measurements of the wall. I think I have it at home, a copy, as well as copy of the contract, actually, I think. Anyway, we could check with Marissa.
I usually had
On
them
it.
sign it when they were hanging their work. They usually signed and gave it to me.
That may be a little
So-
too late. I think we need to let the artists, maybe they want to consult their own
Yeah.
attorney.
but they should be aware that there is an agreement well in advance of the exhibition.
Yes.
So
One-
any additions to this management guide?
No addition, but I will be there if anybody needs any help. One way or the other, I will always be there. So even if you get one person, one artist to work with,
You can help, yeah.
yeah.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Because Diana Smith really knows my telephone number very well.
Okay.
So at odd hours, she always calls me, asks questions and so on. And Ravati actually is driving her nuts. That should not be recorded.
Thank you.
Because Ravati doesn't give what she wants.
Okay, okay. So, any changes?
Well, we'll get a copy of the diagram and
Yeah.
include that with the package.
Yes, but apart from the I mean, I'm
Right,
talking about
this is fine.
this alone,
That's
this
fine.
one management guide is good. We can
And
add.
Actually,
Diane's.
maybe Marissa could even find that drawing. I think it's been in that file with
Great.
the,
And maybe we can add the email and phone number for Diane Smith.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is this available for the artist? I know someone may have to apply, but do they have to come in? Do they have to? My question was regarding how it's available, the easiest way to make it available for the artist. I know they can come in and pick it up, but is there a way for them? I assume it's not on our website.
This agreement's not on our website, just for download. We distribute it to the artists that are approved, and this year at least, we've just been giving it to them when they hang. But I understand the commission would like to do it earlier, in which case I think we'd probably just correspond with them by email, ask them to come in and sign it, whatever's easiest for them.
Okay.
Maybe once the commission has approved their exhibition on the calendar, then that can set into motion communications with the artist vis-a-vis this document and the agreement and that sort of thing.
And can I make one other comment on the agreement, just for your knowledge as well? I am gonna have our insurance review the waiver, just to make sure that it's everything it needs to be. So we might have an updated version of this in the next couple of months. And I also wanted to see if you had any desire to add a very specific provision to this that compels artists to sell their work.
Sorry, what you mean?
The agreement right now, the way that it's written is, it makes quite clear that the commission will take a commission off of
75%.
25%.
25%.
I mean, 25%
Yeah.
and 75%.
So it's written that makes it quite clear that anything you sell, 25% will go to the commission.
Yes.
What it doesn't really say is that you're required to sell.
Right. I don't know what
have
past
by-
practice is,
By
but
mouth, I have told them. I've
Oh,
told
but
them
it's good to say, yeah.
it is, if you sell anything, then 25%.
right, she's asking, is that a requirement to show at the gallery? Is it a requirement to sell their
Yes,
work?
it has been a requirement because that's how we make some.
So that's,
So that's what,
It has always been the practice of
Yes.
the commission
Yes, it
that,
has been. Whoever sells gives 25%.
so when we update the agreement with any updates on liability or those waivers, we'll also add in a provision that
Yeah.
actually requires,
Right.
or just makes it very clear that,
As a condition of.
yes,
but there may,
Showing their work, they're required.
it is for
to-
sale. Yes.
put it for sale.
Yes.
And would that apply to all artworks? Because I know that some artists will show
Yeah.
works and they might not want to sell one or two of the works that they're
That
showing.
doesn't matter. It is.
Or it might be something on loan from someone else who has
That's-
bought
No,
the
that
artwork.
should be
It has to be
okay.
their own work.
No,
But
you're not
no,
understanding what
no,
I'm
I
saying.
am understanding, and I think it should be fine. You cannot sort of hold them that you cannot. Sometimes they want to show one of their art and that shows their artistry, but they don't want to sell it. I don't
Exactly.
think there is any problem.
Okay. So do you understand what I'm saying, Lee, on this?
Sometimes they would
that-
say not for sale.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
you can have a show. And maybe I'm an artist and Azita has one of my works at her house that I want to include in the show. So I ask Azita, can I borrow that
No,
work
that-
to show it to the public in the show? Clearly, that is a work that is not going to be sold, right?
Correct.
So there may be other works also that, the artist does not want to, but at least some works must be sold. That's all I'm
understand.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. That's
So-
clear enough for me
yeah,
to proceed.
I think that's
Thanks.
a good
That's
way
fair,
to thank.
yes, that's fair, yes.
Yeah, I would like the commission to have a freedom, maybe to showcase an artist who may not sell any of the work for some reason.
Sure.
But if we could give a little leeway, lawyers, but not limited to having to sell. I don't know how to make the word sort
You
like
just say
saying
with
it's
the
expected that you sell.
Sell, that you offer your works for sale. But we also understand that there can be exceptions to works that you're showing and those works can be.
But maybe
To
the
public.
commission would consider exceptions, then that leave the
Yeah,
decisions to us.
I think the way that works is in the hypothetical that you just posed.
Mhm.
Then the work that goes up, your piece that's on loan to her, or that you've sold to her that you ask to get back, says already sold.
okay,
That's a
that's
good
good.
how you get
idea.
around that.
Okay,
So
That's a
maybe
good
I
i-
can make a
that's a good idea.
suggestion, which is that we've already agreed that this will be signed by the artist soon after the commission approves the request for them to show. perhaps it can be part of what the commission reviews at a meeting like this. This artist wants to show at this date, this artist has requested that their work not be for sale, and that can be something the commission takes into account when they
Right.
approve the
Great,
actual show.
great idea.
But I
Okay.
think the bottom line is that before you agree to allow an artist to show, they need to know all of this already. This doesn't all of a sudden appear out of nowhere and go, "Oh, by the way," they have to have the information ahead of time.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I have a very important question. I think I did refer this artist to Lee. It was Wu. She didn't want to sell any of her works. I said, it is perfectly all right, that's your choice. But she said, I would like to donate something towards this because you have been kind enough and I'm very proud to show here. So when after her work came down, she wanted to donate some money and asked me to write a check. So I had been told they have to write the check to Town of Tiburon. It goes to Town of Tiburon, and then they put it into our budget, to HNA's budget. She couldn't understand that. She said, I'm paying Town of Tiburon, what about tax deduction? Do you have a form for tax deduction? And what is it? So sometimes this is kind of it's something that we have to deal with. If they should give it straight to Heritage and Arts, it would make sense for an artist to write that check
But
of
Town of-
25%. But if you're asking them to write it for Town of Tiburon, it becomes questionable for, this was the
But
first time that
it's not
happened.
tax deductible if it's Town of Tiburon.
It is.
It is, so what is the
Asking, I
difference?
don't know if you answered her or not.
Yeah, it would be.
But I think
it
we
is
should
usually
really-
tax deductible.
I'll
look
have to
into-
follow up with her and you to see if she got an answer to her question, but generally, whether it's
Yeah. it's
made out to the
tax-
Heritage and Arts Commission, a check made to the Heritage and Arts Commission is a check made to the town of Tiburon. In terms of tax
Tax
deductible, there's no
deductible,
difference.
right.
Should we have a form to make that clear to artists? Maybe that's something we can look at to make it a little clearer. You know, and maybe a form or a letter for these artists might help make that clearer.
Mm.
We are not able to accept checks made out to the Heritage and Arts Commission though, at the end of the day, so.
Maybe they can
Maybe-
put it in the memo line or something like
Yeah,
that.
it should be
Yeah.
put in the agreement that they're signing, that agreement. You can mention that at the end of it.
But it still goes into your budget.
Yeah.
At least in our
Yeah.
accounting, it does. Understanding that it might not be clear to the artist, so we can do a little work on that end and making it clear to
Yeah,
them.
make it kind of clear.
And also, can they use it on their taxes? Like, is it the appropriate donor acknowledgement?
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah,
I'm-
because we should have that going forward. We want it.
So-
That's all part of that donation
Yeah.
form process.
Yes, in Wood's case, it was because she was donating some money. So it is different between donation or you sell and give a percentage. So that is how you have to handle that. See if it is actually,
It's already in here.
I don't know how much she wanted to donate.
It's a Charitable donation agreement and liability waiver here.
Is there one?
But
Then
that's,
maybe- Does that say?
It says specifically, the undersigned agrees to provide the Tiburon Heritage and Arts Commission a tax deductible
Mhm.
charitable
Yeah.
donation of 25% from all sales of media accepted for display during this public exhibition. These funds directly support public art projects in the town of Tiburon. I think for clarification, that needs to be made in writing that checks should be made payable to the town of Tiburon. But I don't know if you want to have the town attorney double check.
We're gonna do a full review of the agreement. And I'll look into any sort of additional information we can provide with or in or outside of the agreement about the tax deductible donations.
That's
And
very good.
payment
The
form,
25%,
people might
it's
want to
it's
donate back.
tax deductible. It's very good.
Okay. Any
It's
other,
always tax deductible, yeah.
any other
That's
comments, concerns, suggestions? Okay, so the town attorney will review some of these documents. And I think it's an action item, but I think, you know, I just move that we include the town hall art gallery management piece in the packet.
I second it.
That, and the drawings.
And the drawings and the diagrams.
Guys.
Yeah.
Measurements.
Second,
Second,
okay,
Second.
I
voting.
already did. 2 seconds.
There's no public comments, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, thank you.
The fourth action item, I know last year we had some discussion around the website, and I'm not sure where we are with
There's
the
nothing.
website. Maybe we can get an update.
Marissa and I are very happy to meet with an ad hoc on potential things that can be done to the HNA's website. We have some limitations in the sense that our website host is our website host, so we can't get too crazy creative with a whole brand new website. And we do have some desire to keep all of our appointed boards, their subpages within our site, somewhat consistent, but we do have some flexibility. We can add a lot of information. So Marissa and I would be very happy to meet with an ad hoc at
I
almost
would
any
like
time.
to work with you on especially the page on Artist Laureate. Please, if I may.
Well, should we form an ad hoc
Yes.
around this? Does anybody have any interest in
Anybody
working on the
else?
website? With
Does anyone have any experience working on the
Marissa
website?
and Lee.
Wow.
I worked on with Patty a little bit on this new website, but I am certainly not computer,
Well,
guru.
if I can chip in, you don't really need experience working on websites.
You want suggestions.
That's what we're for.
Yeah, it's suggestions.
Design arrangements and user.
Give you suggestions.
Some
I don't know
content
if I
develop-
want any meetings, I'm hooked up to here. But
Well,
I'm happy to make some
Martin.
suggestions.
Arjun, you had in the past showed an interest.
I did indeed.
Would you like to ad hoc with me?
Well, I want to keep it open to everyone because, there are.
No, we're
That's-
happy to have the leadership.
7 of
Take the
us,
first
but
step.
I'm happy to join that. And yes,
Okay.
let's do it. Okay. So it's the 3 of us.
What were the previous objectives that were discussed about changing the website? And how much flexibility do we have to update it?
I think it's more about adding content to the
Okay,
website
yeah.
really, and then maybe also making it more kind of, visually
Okay,
engaging as it is an
Accessible.
arts.
Yeah.
Site.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
And we have talked about having more the gallery show that's being available or for more links,
okay.
and I don't know.
Which may also ultimately go to the agreement as well, because if there is some sort of digital publication of the artworks, then the artist needs to know that also.
It's a great idea.
I kind of think, I like the idea of fresh eyes looking at this because we've all been,
King.
around this.
I would like to nominate Liz because she's definitely more of the computer age and have a different eye.
Right.
I
And
know
a
we
and a
wanted
marketing
to have a-
expert as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy to help on that.
okay.
Yes.
So
Great.
thank you,
That's
3 people.
Great. I will work with you.
You're out.
Okay, so Liz, myself and Jale.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And
That's fine with me. I
If-
do it professionally, so I don't need to
Oh.
do it on the side.
No,
No,
then,
you guys do it and I'll,
Well, but
You'll
then
approve.
I would,
no, it's okay.
no, then, Tricia and I can certainly offer a lot of suggestions.
We'll be the advisors if they need it.
Tricia and I will have coffee and give you a whole list.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Liz, I move that
Here's a
we-
question.
Yeah.
Can, with the advisory structure, we're allowed, the advisory ad hoc can take input from others. That should be part of our hygiene, I would think.
Or if you've got an ad hoc, the ad hoc should report back to
We,
the
we
whole.
report and then there's discussion and then
Right,
We will
so,
go back
report.
to the drawing board.
Yeah.
and then we go
Yeah.
back and forth.
But there's no
Or
limit
then
for
we
us to, for me
Provide
to
input
talk
to
to
the
Liz or to any of the members saying,
Yeah.
I like in blue or
I think if you
red.
guys
Yeah.
have good suggestions or something, I mean, I suppose that's.
or even bad suggestions. Any suggestions?
Then the ad hoc will
Are
read.
we,
I just wanna
are we
make-
doing everything in a silo? So they go off, they meet, they input, they report back to the group. And then we take time to brainstorm within a meeting, or is there any form or structure within ad hoc to provide anyone to provide input, open to the community to provide input to an ad hoc?
I think there's more than one question in there. So the way that an ad hoc subcommittee per the Brown Act may only be the three people that have been appointed on this board. And my understanding is it is Liz, Jale, and Arjun. So the three of you are able to solicit input from the community if you want. You can talk to, whoever down the street, but you can't engage with Trish. You can't engage with Victoria. That would be a violation of the Brown Act. So you three will get together and you'll meet with us and we'll talk about some ideas, and then it will come back to the whole commission. And if you want to provide input tonight on exactly maybe how you'd like this to go, we can decide if you want to come back with maybe like a outline, or a full content outline, or maybe you're just saying ad hoc, go for it, and we'll see it live on the website next time. And
I think that's maybe putting the cart before the
Mhm.
horse. Maybe, we can discuss some ideas, the ad hoc, and then we'll provide an outline. And then if we're missing something, that can be raised at discussion, or if there's something that is objected to, that can be raised at discussion, and then we can kind of
So-
an iterative process to come to the final design.
that would be my recommendation, for web development, I think, is for the ad hoc to get together with staff, and we'll have sort of a bigger scale discussion of ideas. We might not develop content in that meeting. We might not develop content in this meeting, this larger scale meeting. I think that we look to the commission for larger scale direction on what sorts of things you would like. And then an outline exactly. And there are certain things that as the web people, we do like to make it. For example, we like to write the website so it all sounds like it's written by the same person, all in the same tone, all in the same sort of the same style.
Consistency.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So there is some stuff that goes on behind the scenes with that. So I would say, to the chair's point, it might be, you might all be better served by the ad hoc working on kind of a larger scale.
And I think I agree. And I think the first step would be for the ad hoc to meet with you and Marissa. That would be the first ad hoc meeting.
Clarification.
Okay.
So meanwhile, if I have a wonderful idea, they cannot talk to me and I cannot talk to them about the ideas.
Until the meeting.
No, you should bring your idea to the next full commission meeting that this is on the agenda.
Oh, so I have to wait till the next,
Yeah.
but in the meantime, they could go to my neighbor as part of the community. Okay.
So to clarify, we're not allowed to provide input as a community member.
No,
But you could do it here now. See, item.
That's not how web design's done, though. Sorry. It's not gonna work. Yeah.
Okay,
No phone call?
It's also rarely an in-person meeting. We do most of our design with each one of us focused on, you two can be meeting in person, but a lot of our design is always done looking at the screen.
I mean, I think to clarify, this is not so much a design issue as it is a content.
Exactly. And
arrangement
that's what I'm
issue.
talking about.
So-
Content, big picture, what can we do? What can't we do? What
Just-
is the goals? What is all of that? But you have to look at a screen to know, to be able to describe if you're going to link the left column to the right column, what's about the fold. Who is viewing this? Where are they viewing it? Are they?
Which can all happen at a discussion in the meeting, because the idea is that we would first give a basic outline or a template or something that we're working with Lee and Marissa on. We'll put it up there and then we can all talk about it.
And I would say, Commissioner, you might be even one step further ahead of us, I think, on the way that I'm understanding this first meeting will go.
I look forward.
Yeah.
To it.
Maybe you should be on the ad hoc.
That's fine. We're okay. Yeah, we've got our volunteers.
I'm happy to cede my position if you would like to, because my experience is minimal.
What
Fresh
the,
eyes, fresh
Would you
eyes.
like
Yeah.
to do that?
the other, since we have made a motion, we can always come back to next meeting. You can
Yeah.
reappoint
Okay,
the ad hoc.
see how it goes. So the motion is to establish an ad hoc for the website, Heritage and Arts website, consisting of Commissioner Freibush, Commissioner Jale, Etamad, and myself, Commissioner Gupta. Any seconds?
Second.
Second, third.
Second, third, fourth.
Oh, do we have public comment on this? Sorry.
Dave has.
Dave,
Yeah, he has a page on there.
vote.
I'm always available for if there's any history questions you want to put.
Oh,
that's
Yeah, you can talk to Dave.
Yeah, that's part of content.
mhm. That's a big part of the content.
That's part of content. That'll be great.
You're the H in the heritage part also.
First name.
Ready for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none.
Moving on to the discussion portion. The ad hoc for artists from underrepresented communities had some discussion at a meeting this month. And we came up with some thoughts about how to proceed with engaging communities that have art that are underrepresented. And I think specifically the discussion revolved around Marin City, African-American artists in Marin City, Latinx artists in the Bay Area, Native American, Indigenous peoples, arts and cultures, and Asian artists. So we couldn't do everybody, but we started off with that group, and we felt that it was important to move forward with African-American artists in Marin City as a starting point. They're right here. And there's at least one organization that represents these artists. And through Richard Rosen, we also were able to get a contact for someone who we can speak with, who can, give us some direction and introduce us to artists and their works from Marin City. Victoria, would you like to discuss?
It's really great to work on this with you. I wanted to thank Arjun for finding the three main groups of what we consider underrepresented artist groups. And it involved the Asian, Latina, and Native America. And these three sites are actually nonprofits, and I would suggest that the ad hoc contact these groups directly and feel out and to listen to them as to what they want. We'd like to offer the space in the town hall for their art. And I feel better to kind of have that entity decide what kind of art rather than have us select what we consider underrepresented. So along with Arjun, I'd like to propose or think about dedicating the lower gallery, since from the schedule is all empty, and meet with these groups and see if they're interested in selecting their own artists to show. And I think it's a good message from us that we value different cultural arts, different groups. And and I think it'll save a lot of work in trying to find someone to fill the lower gallery.
And by promoting these artists from underrepresented communities in the lower gallery, we feel that visitors to the town hall will become immediately aware that this is something that the Heritage and Arts Commission and the town is engaged in to showcase these underrepresented communities and these diverse artists. And the upstairs gallery will remain for local artists and, you know, the ones that we are finding for our calendar here. But by dedicating that lower space, the foyer and this wall here, I feel that kind of exposure will be very meaningful to the community and for our work here as commissioners.
Well, I have something to say. That sounds really good, but you have to wait until we fill up the next year's calendar first to see how much opening we have, then we can take over from there. By just putting different groups downstairs, there are some artists that who would love to show downstairs. We cannot say no. So let's,
Well, it's
Well,
up,
it's
it's up for
scheduling.
discussion. Yeah.
yeah, we have to fill up the whole 2025 first.
Well, there is nobody
available.
in the
But
downstairs.
because we haven't even started getting in touch with all this artists that she has been bringing in, we haven't really done anything. Except about 3.
As far as the info that I've received, we're considering 4 new artists. And one of them definitely wanted for May upstairs. I don't know about the others, but if we could, the others, when we have to go out and seek someone to fill the lower at this time. We have so many gaps here. Why don't we assign it to someone, just as we will go out and seek the artist? The artist is the entity that represent one segment of the underrepresented artist colony. So we're going out and filling. Why do we have to necessarily fill just with single artists and going on the same basis? I am wondering if we could reach out, doing things a little bit differently this time, reaching out to the underrepresented community that value their art and have them select. But we should give them a time now if we are really serious. Otherwise, you know, it's sort of like the marginalization. You'll say, oh, I got this artist and we don't have time for your group. So I think we made a decision that we want to highlight and support the underrepresented groups. And I think we need to make an effort to change our process of selecting those artists. And I don't want to go the same way and waiting for every single artist, going to ICB and picking one. I like to try something different as we want to promote showcasing the artists from different communities.
Okay, can we do like an art
Nora?
call to those
Nora?
groups?
Well, I just want, I wasn't here at the last meeting.
Sorry.
So I think what I'm hearing is that you, Arjun, now chair, and Victoria Fong, and who's the third person on the ad hoc? Okay, Jale.
Oh.
At least the two of you have an idea, which I think is a wonderful idea if I'm getting it correctly, which is to essentially reserve the space both in this room and outside in the lobby, specifically for underrepresented artists. And specifically, I'm hearing in the Asian, Latino, and the indigenous community.
And the African American.
And the, okay, good. And I think what's really wonderful about that is it shows a real positive, affirmative action, right? It's not passive. You are actually going out and getting these people, looking for them and bringing them into the community, which I think is fabulous. And I think the other thing about the idea that we've got a calendar to work with other than, of course, Dave's got a showing at the beginning of the year and the end of the years, there are often calendar dates that work very well with certain groups. So like you could talk about Cinco de Mayo, 16 de
Well, I was
septiembre,
thinking of September for the
Yeah, or 16 de
Yeah, the
septiembre.
Heritage Month.
Right. And you've got Black History Month, you've got Asian New Year, the Lunar New Year. So you can also dovetail on that. I know that the schools often do a program, because we've done it before, of the Black History Month, where we did showcase children's artwork in the gallery upstairs. That was artwork that were all portraits of famous politicians, artists, and all of that. So, and so you can even dovetail with other projects.
Yeah, we're in agreement because my thoughts was we have this blank space here
Right.
after Dave. That might be a good time for the Marin City. They are the first. They could be the initial
Right.
The first group.
participation.
Yeah.
And we could think about other nonprofits, that artists, nonprofit groups.
And they
That might
exist.
be, we may even have a holding an open house and people come and, see the space
Mhm.
and see if we gather some applications. I mean, it's a little bit different than the way we've been doing, where we go out and seek. I am, with Arjun, I'm just thinking that's a better way for the actual community to come up with what is good art from that segment of population versus what we like. And we go out there and say, oh, I like this one and this is, really great. But I think it should come from them and let them speak so that we can listen and learn.
I agree. And I think that now is the time to do it because it is the fall. And, if we get these groups in, if the ad hoc is able to host these groups to give them a tour of the gallery space down here and, get involved with some discussions around. I love your idea about the dates and the
Mhm.
months. I think that's really cool. Then, it's possible that we might be able to have a scheduled, series for 2025 in advance. And if we don't, again, this is, we're trying something out. It's new, we'll learn as we go along, but I think it makes sense to try it and see what happens. And there may well be only 1, 2, 3 spaces that are, taken up, and then there's one outlying space, and we might have to find another artist for that
Yeah,
downstairs
and they
gallery.
may not be interested. I don't know.
Yeah, we have no
Because
idea
of
what
the
the
feedback.
reception, we have no
Mhm.
idea what the reception will be.
To take each section. There's January, February should be one person taking care
Well,
of it.
Yeah,
If we know who is taking care of each section, each
you
2
mean which
months.
commission, you're talking about which commissioner?
Or which group, or which group.
Yeah, which commissioner first?
Well, the ad hoc.
Ad hoc
The ad
is,
hoc will be the ones who are
we're gonna be,
responsible for this particular lower gallery series.
but
As
that's
lo-
what came out from that one meeting, but the ad hoc can go back and take your ideas and come back again. And Arjun can make couple calls to the Marin City to see what's a reception, because that's what we're interested in first. And report back. But
Be good to ask what month they can
Right,
show,
right.
so that you can consider it in your schedules.
But there are already established organizations in these different communities. I mean, Canal Community Alliance is huge in
Yes.
the Canal District in
yes,
San Rafael. And there's actually a project where they do a mural
Mhm.
in San Rafael.
Right.
So
well,
there are
that was
existing-
my other thought. I'm glad we shared the same thing. I think it's great, these agencies and groups.
Yeah.
And it's good for us to relate and reach out as from the Tiburon
An
group.
excellent
And
idea.
we could even do an open house at some point.
I
To
think-
invite,
What I suggest that I invite them to
basically
come.
get create a mailing list of all the different art organizations. And especially the ones that,
Yeah.
have representation in those marginalized communities or underrepresented communities, whatever you want to call them. And then just have a big,
Yeah, we could
event
we could
here.
develop a group with,
Right.
A listing
Right.
and invite them all to come for coffee, breakfast, introduce ourselves and see which agency want to take it. Maybe there's none from Marin City and we'll move
Right.
to another part. All of this will come back for the commission to decide. But I think it might be a good idea for ad hoc to send out a list
Yeah.
of an invitation. Come and visit the Tiburon
Maybe
gallery.
maybe that's the next step, is an invitation. And if they, whether they can do it out, I mean, I think it's, better to do it individually with individual groups rather than have everybody come at the same
Right.
day. But I think that that's a
Yeah,
good
like
idea,
different times.
is to start the outreach now. And it doesn't require anything other than an invitation. They can come in, they can see it. And if they want to do it, then we'll come back to the commission with that.
With a
group,
proposal and
their
then
proposal.
for acceptance. Yeah.
But may I say that this has to be for next year in middle of the year, because what you're saying, we don't have anyone for January and February, except Dave that is doing only 1 month.
Well,
No,
2
no,
months,
no,
but
no, no.
it's
I haven't really reported on that yet.
no, but I'm talking about the lobby.
The lobby, yeah, sat in January and
You have
February.
someone?
The lobby is, Dave Gotts is going to,
But here it shows December
because
and
I told
January.
you, this is not quite
Well,
done
he
yet.
goes
We
on.
haven't.
Through the holiday.
But it's December here.
Yeah,
Dave's dates are from December 15th, I believe.
No,
Or
well,
December.
December 15, we are going, the town hall is going to be closed at the end of December. So Dave is going to hang from January, as soon as
Here is
January starts.
So here is.
We
written,
have,
just as a matter of order, I think we're getting into item D1.
Right.
Well, we can move on then
that
to,
is, we have to move on to that one.
unless, Victoria, do you have anything else to add, or does anybody else have any comments or discussion for?
It's a very good idea, but I think we have to do it from mid next.
scheduling and I certainly would support to have Arjun do the first outreach and let's see.
Let's see how quickly, because again, these are smaller organizations and they might be a little bit, quicker to respond and to, have works that they have on hand to
But
show.
in the meanwhile, we have to secure some for the beginning of the year.
Maybe we could ask Dave. to
Yes, for the
stay till-
upstairs gallery, there is January, February, and then there's May and June, and we can get to that right now
February is,
in the second discussion item, which is Town Hall Gallery Artists for 2025.
Yes, that is when you are going
Okay.
to discuss it.
So let's move on to that discussion item.
What happened to the first one? Would you like to?
It's just a discussion item. I mean,
That
it
was
was,
just a discussion.
yeah, there's no action.
So is
to be
it
taken. I
no
mean,
action? We can't
Well,
decide?
we can still continue our ad hoc.
The ad hoc.
No,
is-
I mean for this issue, the matter coming up, we cannot make a decision about the artist. We can only discuss.
You mean for the
You're
town?
presenting for, right now. Can we make a decision on these four? And
Oh,
start setting up
I
the
think, I
calendar?
think I think the idea is that, I mean, do we make a motion on a discussion item to
No.
move it forward? No. I mean, I think the idea is that the ad hoc has license to go ahead and make that initial outreach to see who is interested
Find out,
and,
yes.
which organizations will be interested, and I'm happy to do that with you. Yeah.
I'm asking about the next item, which
Oh.
is the four artists. Can we make a decision on these?
Yeah, we should take a look at.
I don't think we
each
can
of-
vote on them.
Yeah, it's not an action,
No, it is.
unfortunately.
Can I jump in a little bit? So there's a couple of, you all have the artist calendar 2025 in front of you
Yep.
and the last bit of 2024. Commissioner Etamad has sent some revisions to a couple of these that have already been approved. So maybe we'll just go through those first.
Okay.
Because they're already approved artists. It's just switching the dates a little bit. And then we'll move into the new artists.
Okay.
And you won't be taking any action on them tonight. But I think what you'll be doing is looking at them and potentially whichever commissioner brought them forward, maybe you will then be responsible for going back and saying the commission likes your work. When are you available?
Mhm.
And then the actual date will come back as an action item at the next meeting.
Great.
Does that sound okay? Commissioner Etamad, I have your note right here. I'm happy to
Yes.
kind of move through it if you'd like me to.
Yes, please, you can
Okay.
read it.
So Revity is going to, so I'm in 2024. Revity is going to, and Dave, please correct me if this is not right. Revity is going to keep her work in the downstairs gallery. You have it right now as only the month of November, and then Dave was going to hang in the month of December.
But that is
But-
not,
But now Revity is going to keep her work up until town hall closes
yes,
mid-December.
Mhm.
I don't have the
Yes.
date, I'm sorry. And then Dave is instead going to take the downstairs gallery
yes, you-
for what was previously only January 2025. He's gonna do January and February 25. Is that right? Landmarks, excuse me.
yeah, it is
Oh.
landmark.
So this spot right here where he's showing just in January is gonna be
The full block.
full block for
Yeah,
Dave.
the
Okay.
full 2-month block. So that's number one
For landmark.
Okay.
for
All the
landmarks.
shows are for 2 months.
May I ask then, is this empty part is also Ravati's?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
the whole,
Yes.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Revity was originally scheduled only November, but
Okay.
now her work's gonna stay
It was just
for
a
an
space.
extra 2
2
weeks.
Yeah,
So
what
that's
is
number
the-
one.
Okay.
Number two, you approved a Ginny Doyle to show in the
Yes.
upstairs gallery, March 1st through April 30th. Ginny is instead going to show in January.
Oh, okay.
Oh, downstairs. I mean
No,
upstairs.
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 Jenny
Okay.
Doyle will be upstairs.
And then she
Yeah.
would like her artist reception to be in February.
Any date?
She hasn't given me a date yet.
Okay.
And are you gonna be working with her? Are you gonna be the liaison?
Yes, I will be, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Yes.
There is a number of pieces of art we can't put on into that.
Actually-
Just put on easels and a look.
Actually, that's something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
This is the commission, but just so you know, Dave, we've previously been doing joint receptions. So you'll be showing at the same time as Ginny. So if the two of you can coordinate on.
I think, no, I think this is far separate.
Okay,
We should keep it separate.
okay.
It's just, not treated like a,
Free for all.
free for public comment, the presentation, if that makes sense. I just want to make sure all comments are kind of recorded on the record, that's all, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Um,
Do you want to come?
To be recorded?
Sure.
Oh.
This is just, since it's just recent.
Yeah.
So I'm representing, is this on?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Representing Landmark Society, and we're presenting our collection, which is in the hundreds, is called Artist as Historian. So we're going to feature things where why it's got that name. And there are a number of pieces that we cannot afford to put up here. Insurance would be too high. And there's some that are actually, there's a big piece that's in the in the Wells Fargo Bank. There's a gigantic canvas there. It's been on permanent loan that people don't know about. That's one of ours. And it's also very valuable behind plexiglass in the back of that. So we might like show a few things and have a little reception. People can understand how large and fine our collection is. And that would be just a standalone little, gathering. It might be big. I don't know. We would probably just invite Landmark Society members. So if you're not members, you can't come.
Oh, so it's not open to public.
No, of course, commissioners. We'd love to see the kind of art that we do have, and you've seen it before. We've had stuff up.
Yeah. That sounds great.
But that's just the focus of I just figured that one out yesterday.
We usually do these receptions on Tuesday evenings.
Mhm.
Would that
Yeah, that's fine.
suit you
yeah,
okay?
Yeah, it's not a big,
And you can give us a date if
Yeah.
you want,
yeah. I'll have to
either in
consult with.
January or
yeah.
February.
Yeah,
But don't do it on February so that it doesn't coincide with the upstairs gallery.
so February, they're doing one in February. Yeah,
Yeah.
upstairs is February.
Upstairs is now Ginny Doyle.
Ginny
Correct?
No,
Doyle.
her reception is in February.
She hasn't given me,
Date,
she
okay.
just wants it in month of February.
Okay.
She wasn't quite sure, so she didn't give it to me.
Yeah.
After I find out exactly, I can let you know.
And this room has to be available too.
Yeah,
So it can't have a
It's, yeah.
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Tuesdays. It's always
All
available.
your will be hanging.
No, no,
Always
right there.
Tuesday is always available to you.
Yes.
then I would suggest your landmarks reception be in January, like an
January.
opening.
I mean, it would be not right away because people are
Not
on
right away.
vacation.
Sure.
Vacation, ski
Ever-
vacation sometime.
We can, if the commission's okay with it, we can talk offline and develop a proposed date and then we'll bring it back to the commission.
Yeah. That sounds fine. Yeah,
Okay,
Good.
that sounds
But
good.
we're
Thank you.
hanging on whenever the town hall
Yeah.
opens that first week.
Thank you.
Good.
January 2nd.
Second? Oh, that early. Oh,
That's when we're reopening. Yeah.
okay, good.
Oh,
Well,
you open January 2nd or 5th?
Second.
January 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Back to work.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
So can I just?
But then we're closed the 3rd. Sorry.
Yeah, you open second and close the third.
Every other Friday.
So it could be
Oh.
7th.
That's one of those Fridays, but I'll be here on the 2nd. I'll be here.
Okay,
It
my
would
only
be-
question was, are you gonna need help to hang anything?
No.
Oh,
just-
that's
yeah,
the
and
landmark.
And also our new archivist, Jennifer,
Okay.
wants to.
Is
through
the
it too. She
landmarks.
missed the last time I did it,
Get
so.
into it.
It
Yeah.
could
Cool.
be 7th or the 12th.
That's why, Lee is going to look at the town
Yeah,
calendar.
Oh,
town calendar has
14th.
to be, this room has to be unoccupied, because
Yeah.
this would be where we would have it. in
Right.
there.
So you guys are gonna coordinate that. That's
Yeah,
great. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
thank you.
That would
And
be
Lam-
great.
Wonderful. We'll
Thank
just-
you.
We'll just come for the, okay.
Oh, you don't want us to contribute.
No, I think that if it's going to be close to their members, I think we need to just let them take care of it. If we want to bring our own bottle, I suppose.
Lee, are there any other changes that, from Jale that you?
No, I have a note here about another artist, but I think we'll be discussing her as one of the new artists on the agenda. And I believe maybe Azita, I don't have the name
It's
on here.
Cecil.
It's
I
Cec-
think the
it's
one that
Cecil.
came to see you is Cecily Strain.
So Cecil, so we'll get
Cecil
into
Strain, yes.
Cecily,
Strain.
which is letter D on your agenda, so
Okay,
that's gonna be March and April.
well, are we able to maybe put up some stuff on this screen and see the websites of some of these artists?
Oh, can't you see it on your screen here?
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
I guess we could do it here too, yeah. You're right. I don't know, that's not a live link.
I can't.
I saw it there.
Yeah,
You got it there. Oh, okay,
Okay.
good.
so the first artist is Susan Katz, reached out to us. She's a Marin-based wildlife photographer. And she's got, I think she's got quite an impressive background as well, and she's also an author, I believe. Is there a way to get to her
It's loading.
about?
Or about?
Her statement.
It's just her smug mug, so it's just gonna be
Oh,
an album.
okay, okay. You want to look her up? Susan B. Katz.
Her.
Smug mug, yeah,
Can you just do Susan B. Katz artist
photography, there we go.
photography?
Got her Instagram. Author, yeah, that's her. You might have sent me another thing.
I think she has a very impressive work.
Night,
No. we're just
okay, so
looking.
we're just spending time. Should we
To move on to the next.
move on? Can I move that we each take a look at this at home, this list?
Sure.
Come back with our
Yeah.
recommendations?
I'm with Trish. I thought we would be voting on this, but
Yeah.
but
We
I've
cannot.
looked at this. Oops, I've looked at the sites at home
Mm.
and had my comments and my decisions, so.
So, okay, well, let's just run through them quickly. Gordon Studer is lives here in Tiburon. He moved here not too long ago from Sausalito. He has a studio at the ICB building. He is a abstract painter. He's also got a long bio and a history of exhibitions and shows in the Bay Area and elsewhere. He's currently in Mallorca on a painting project, and he has a show coming up in I believe a Sausalito gallery in the spring. He said he would be available towards the end of the year. And he expressed an interest in showing here as well. I really liked his work. I'm happy to work with him if we decide that he is an artist.
I really like his work and I even like him better
Beautiful.
now that he's in Mallorca. But I think his technique and the colors and the strokes and sight is good.
Impressive, impressive.
I like it.
Yeah. And so that's Studer. So we have Katz, we have Studer, and the next one is Zhang, who I really got excited about. Victoria,
Mhm.
I believe you
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this is
because he showed.
contemporary Chinese artists.
yeah.
And I think it's a great way to showcase a little bit different than these, the usual flowers and landscapes that we think of with Chinese paintings. And he also does some representational work. If you see, one of them is currently at the library. And he's very interested. He teaches at Stanford also, and he would like the time of May upstairs.
He also has a
Would be
pretty
good.
extensive record
He's very good.
at
March and
auction and
April.
in the
May,
marketplace
June
too. So
can
he's
be-
a, you know, he's a well-known
Yeah,
contemporary
he's
Chinese
really
painter.
good. I like him.
And you can see he's using traditional Sumier ink painting techniques, but with a very
Should have brought-
contemporary vision.
I should
Yeah.
have brought
You have
her
the book.
book.
Yeah, Charlie has a
I
book.
bought a work of his. He was showing in the library. It was just, I don't know if you remember it, when you walked in, there were these huge panels from ceiling to the floor.
He's really
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
his work,
impressive.
but he did, I did show him the space upstairs and he does understand, you know, it's gonna be smaller and he
It needs
implied
to-
that he has some triptychs and different things.
He's the one
Um,
that doesn't speak English very.
Not very well, and I don't speak
I've met
his
him.
dialect of Chinese, so
I've met him,
I'm
yeah.
with you.
He's very,
So
he's
what month-
very good.
What
He would like, if accepted by the commission, he would like to show it here upstairs, the May slot.
May, June
May
is
and
good,
June.
Yeah,
It has to be May and June.
but that's for the commission to vote on next time.
Okay.
So we have Yue Zhang, and then we have, so March and April is now open because Ginny Doyle has moved to
Oh,
January.
March,
and
April is Cecily.
She's gonna be there, okay?
You look at it, Cecily.
Let's look at
Strain.
her. Here, she's an
Yeah,
abstract
Cecily,
painter.
Yeah, Cecily Strain.
Cecily Starren, okay.
I think I've seen the work at the library too.
No, she hasn't shown, no, she
Yeah,
hasn't.
some were similar.
These are Cecily's, yeah. She's very talented.
Mhm.
She has, the colors are beautiful.
Yes, I agree with Azita. I think the colors and
Colors
the
are beautiful. The composition.
and the lines, it's a good combination. And if she wants it in March, I think that's a, and yeah, and Gordon Studer wants it at the latter part of the year. That's a nice split between the abstract.
Yeah. So I guess the question then is, we have Kathy Gray for July and August. We have Deborah Maddox for the end of next year, November, December.
Are they upstairs? or
September.
down-
and
They're all
October.
upstairs. These are all upstairs gallery.
So the downstairs are open.
Still open.
Could you check with Gordon whether he could do it for September, October?
I will ask him. And, but then we, we run into the issue of Susan Katz and the photography. Maybe there might be something that she can do, depending on, what happens with our idea for the downstairs space. If there
Right.
is an opening, she might be able to get in there next year. But right now, with all of these artists, we have a full upstairs gallery schedule.
No, how about July and August?
Kathy Gray,
Oh, I see. And how about September and October?
potentially Gordon Studer, although he may or may not be able to do it. I can ask him.
Yeah,
And
so why don't we think of someone that if they can?
Susan Katz, maybe the photographer, if, so I'll just put that as an alternate. And I can talk to Gordon. Jale, you already have Ginny, you, Victoria
Maddox.
can talk to Wei
Mr.
Ying
Zhao,
Zhang. And then
I know Deborah.
Deborah, do you want
Deborah's-
to
I can
work
take
with
that.
her
Deborah is
at the
already
end of the year?
taken.
I know Deborah.
Oh, you're gonna
too,
take-
yeah.
because I
No,
think
if
I
you-
was,
Then we don't have
Deborah.
enough people taking care of the whole thing.
I was going to do Deborah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking you were gonna do.
I
Jean.
was going
So
to
if
do
you-
Want to
Deborah.
do
I
both?
don't,
But you.
It's up to you.
You should.
yeah, I don't mind. Do you want to?
Because. we
I,
have
I know, I'm sort of
Everybody
friendly
has-
with that. I know
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Deborah.
The
Trying to
two
work that
together.
out.
I do too, but it doesn't matter to me.
All
Understood.
right.
It's not enough.
Well,
Well, it doesn't matter. Well,
we can.
Yeah, we can
why
figure
don't you-
this out.
Yeah, we can figure that out, but certainly, because we don't need to assign it right now, but I just want to make sure that,
Everyone's covered.
everyone's covered.
Yeah.
And who do we say? Kathy Gray,
Oh, gosh, that's
Kathy
better.
Gray.
You,
Anybody want to take on Kathy?
I can take Kathy Gray.
Okay, well, you're already doing Ginny, right?
Yeah, I can take Kathy Gray as well.
would Liz or Trish like to take one?
I'm gone.
Oh, when are you here?
Summer, oh, that,
Probably in November, or possibly in March, the two. Who's in March?
Cecily.
Cecily, and that's Azita,
Yes, I think.
okay?
Mhm.
Okay, well, we can work with what we've
Yeah,
got now, but,
once you write
everybody's
it
covered,
down,
yeah.
everything becomes suddenly very clear.
okay. So at the next meeting, then we'll do the outreach to these artists about these potential dates
Yeah,
before the next meeting. And then when we hear back from them, you can, everybody who's got somebody here.
yeah, we have some others.
You
yes.
can come back to me and let me know before the next meeting, and then I can help agendize that so that we can vote to approve them and get them.
Okay,
confirmed.
I've already spoken and
You said
he
yes,
said for May, yeah, if
Great.
voted for.
great, that's wonderful.
I just have a question.
May and June,
to-
don't
to
forget
the,
the
in
2
terms of doing
months.
receptions down here. So we just need to know when there are town hall meetings, right?
Mhm.
But there's so many meetings, I don't know.
First Tuesday, you all have been doing, maybe actually second Tuesday. Second Tuesday is open.
Okay.
Tuesdays are good. Third Tuesday is often not. Mondays are almost always open. It's Wednesdays and Thursdays that are not good. And then
Friday's closed.
Fridays are closed.
Fridays are closed. We don't have a lot of meetings on Mondays, but maybe Monday's a good night for reception. So most Mondays are open. Second Tuesdays are open as well.
So we'll just say Monday as an alternate to,
And the hanging is Thursdays or the Monday, they can finish it up
Right.
before the Tuesday. So that helps them.
But we can get in on weekends, right? I mean,
And then the same week that.
As
they're
long as
hanging,
a commissioner
is here.
is here,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
All right, well, let's move on to the
bringing down,
calendar dates.
okay.
You know, there is a mistake, I think. Because for the calendar, there is a November 11, it says Tuesday. I don't think it's Tuesday. Is it
I think it's
Tuesday?
the 12th.
It's
supposed to
not,
be the
that is correct. That is a mistake, and I caught that also because Revati and I
What
were
is it?
discussing. It's the 12th. It is not the 11th, it's the 12th.
Not the 11th.
So do you want to read the calendar dates?
Yes.
Thank you.
This Saturday, is a joint reception. You have your upstairs artist, Marta Wendlinger, and your downstairs artist as well, Annie Bates. They'll be here for their joint reception on Saturday. You have 3 Old St. Hilary concerts coming up. First one on Sunday, October 27th. Never mind, sold out. Thank you, Dave. Sunday, November 17th and Sunday, that one's okay. And Sunday, December 8th. So you have your 2 Old St. Hilary's concerts coming up. As was just discussed, Revity's reception will be Tuesday, November 12th. And then that brings us to the next 2 months of their regular meeting dates. Tuesday, December 25th will be canceled due to the holiday. Tuesday, November 26th, this is 2 days before Thanksgiving.
That's what I won't be here for sure. Thanksgiving, I go.
Wanting to know if the commission would like to cancel this meeting, and or stick with it.
Are those the only options? Cancel or stick with it?
We could schedule a special meeting, and after this meeting, I think I would recommend it. If you don't have a quorum for the 26th, it might be worth checking to see if we need to have
Anybody
a
wanna-
special meeting.
I won't be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here. So you won't be here. Azita won't be here.
I won't be
I
here.
think I'm going to be here,
Won't be
but,
here, I won't be here.
but I'm not opposed to a earlier special meeting, at least to
here?
decide on the,
Yeah, if
Our-
you need a
Got
special
family and they
meeting,
should be here.
I don't think I'm traveling. I'm just not sure.
Can we do a meeting? Can we do a special meeting like the week before that?
Sure. We'll reach out tomorrow with some possible dates to the whole commission.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
So then
just a
cancel
question, when,
Tuesday.
what time are the art receptions on this Saturday?
this Saturday I'll be here at 12 o'clock.
What
And
are
their
the times?
reception is 1 to 3.
Hmm.
So they wanted to set up tables, so I told them I'll be here at 12. So if any of commissioners would like to stop by, please do so.
But this is the reception that she was told that it's on her. We're not doing anything, right?
Mhm.
To
No,
be here.
No.
But what about the artists
But I
down
have to
here?
give them glasses because she said that she will bring her own drinks. The one upstairs.
Yeah, I understand. What about the downstairs? Do we need to do
Downstairs, she
anything?
is only going to bring water and cookies.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I will not be here on Saturday. I'll be away.
Well, if anyone is around, you can stop by.
Well, isn't that the same day as the Tiburon Ridge dedication?
Yeah,
Yes.
And same time.
that's up on the hill. Yeah.
That's where I'll be
That's where I'll be.
because my son is
What is
performing
the same Saturday?
on the ukulele.
Oh, cool.
What's it on that Saturday?
That open space that carries.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
All right. So Lee, we'll just wait to hear from you for potential dates the week before Thanksgiving. And
But November 26th is canceled.
November 26th is canceled because we
I
don't,
Okay.
think so, that's a good idea.
so hopefully we'll have a quorum at least the week before.
Yeah, if we have something important to discuss, we can have it
Sure.
the week before.
But yes, just to reiterate, hopefully, we'll hear everybody who has their artists for this calendar, reach out with these dates. And maybe Lee, can you send a, like a revised calendar to everyone so that everybody has it? That'd be great. You're the best. All right.
I'm going to.
I
give
think that's
this
it.
artist to-
And with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Great.